First part of the clip is going to be slides and voiceover because of background noises and circumstances. So working on a BMW E90 today, 223i 2009 model, doing the rear brake pads. So the first thing you want to do is just check the reservoir that hasn't been topped up by someone, bring it up to the full mark, because when you get to the brakes and you're going to compress that piston in, the fluid's going to fill back into that reservoir and you don't want it to overflow and make a mess. So check the reservoir first, make sure that it isn't filled up. If it is, then you're probably going to want to use some sort of method to take a little bit out. In this case, the fluid level is good, it's low, so I can continue. Now there is jacking points for the car to go up, but me being old school, I went for straight away underneath the rear wheel, the point where I don't have to bring the jack up too high to get the wheel off the ground. You probably want to use the jacking point that's along the sides. I just, old school, went straight away behind the tyre. So the first thing you want to do after taking the wheel off is remove that caliper tensioner there. It's basically spring loaded. To get it off, you just push against the outside there, and as it moves forward, you unclip it, and you can see the clips here on this image, the clips that clip in behind. So it's pretty easy just to press and take off. You'll see that a little bit later on with the footage. So there's little caps that you need to remove to get access to the bolts inside the boots there. So once you've removed them, you've got a T45 Allen that you need to use to take that out. The top's the same, it's got that little cover there, just remove that first, and then you can get access to the T45 bolt. So that's what I'm using here, T45 Torx Allen. You can just use a standard Allen key or Allen wrench, whatever you want to call it, but this is the tools I had, so this is what I used. So just show you here, the struggle is real when you don't have the right tools. You make do with what you got. So we've got to just get in here and just, you know, just feel for it, and should be right. Take your time. And the bottom one's the same. When I get to that, I'll just undo this top one first, then I'm going to do the bottom one. Yeah, this part here is a bit of a trick, because you get to a certain point of undoing it and you'll think to yourself, okay, I'm turning here for no reason now. So what you want to do is just get the tool, just let me get it in there first, and put a bit of pressure against it as you turn, and you'll feel it that it's coming out. And see how it's like that now, it's coming out. And there's the bolt there. I'll do the bottom one, we'll get to the pads. Right, so there's the caliper out there, easy comes off. It's just like any other brake really. I guess if you don't know, you don't know. I didn't know until today. Old mate called me up and said he can't do it because it looks too difficult to do. He's watched YouTube, and I came out and had a look at it, and I was like, nah, she looks right. Now that we've got this far, I don't have my tools with me, I'm using his. So we're going to use a G clamp, or in America you'd call it a C clamp, to press that piston back in. And like I showed you at the beginning, I've already checked the level on the brakes, and we've got enough to push in here without overflowing on that brake fluid. Alright, so on the driver's side, or on the right hand side, the brake pad's like this. It's a sensor that tells you that the pad's running low. Unless you want to get a bit more wear and tear and not have the warning light, you still got like a third of life on that pad. But that's the way it is, it's the way the manufacturer intended it to be. But it just slides in like that. So now I'm going to change the pad over after I compress this piston in. I just wanted to point out, you see this sensor here, how it's flat like that? Now that's not supposed to be like that. That's faulty, so it needs to be replaced. You see the new sensor there? This is a video that's coming along. You can see how the sensor there, how it's got that little like pyramid shape to it. That's a good sensor, and you can see the little line there. That's when the brake pads need to be changed. Now if your brake pads have gone past that, the sensor is damaged. Don't try and change the sensor without having new pads first, because you'll probably break a new sensor on the install. You need to have good pads if you're going to change the sensor as well. Alright, so putting the spring back on, you want to put it there and just squeeze it like so. Get it back on like that. Too easy. Alright, so there's the brake fluid level there when we finish the job. You can see the full level mark there, which is a little bit on the low side there, but that'd be because the front brakes haven't been changed yet. Anyway, till next time guys, thanks for watching, cheers.